Welcome back to the finals of GPN. I'm playing against RickyRister on Oxfox. Don't have very high hopes of this matchup. I think, largely speaking, the deck is better than mine, and I don't have terribly great answers for what they're doing. But Oxfox can definitely brick at least a little bit. Don't have any cantrips in that deck. And I am in the play, so I have at least that going for me. I do also have stuff like Car and sideboard. Corrosion. I have some. This entire row of my entire rows of my sideboard are definitely something. But if my opponent gets going to basically any degree, I am not gonna enjoy it. I do imagine that if I do win this, then being able to play will be saving grace with the match. Just because it does mean that my counter magic is much more effective, and just in general, I just kind of means okay. I mean, this exists. My opponent keeps 7. Like, I think this is ultimately losing. I think Muckboozer just doesn't do enough. Additionally, this is a really painful mana base to hollow, so I need to, like, hit a land and a mill spell. This is the kind of hand that, if I had an Anthus Accomplice, it'd be great. I don't. I hate mulliganing, but yeah, triple Muckboozer is not where it's at. This is much better. Bottoming Cataract? I guess it's bottom Nebula. Big Grove? Or bottom Nebula. Very happy mulligan. This is a much more reasonable hand. I actually do stuff. So obviously leading off on Island, Nat, no real other choices. Now I'm hoping to not see, like, half my opponent's deck. Yep, not a good sign. Probably gonna die immediately. My Dragon's Eye is a good draw. I get incredibly lucky, I can play the State Harvester, but seems unlikely. Probably just one of finding a thing to do. Monkey Shines, Oracle's Visions. I imagine I pop the Visions and just play it. Yeah. That does mean I have, that is going to team me a fair bit more cards in Graveyard. Chain Creatures is good. Attack this Nat? God, the 4th. Do I trade my 4th weave for the 2? This is the state of 1-drops. I think I do not off the trade, because this Dragon's Eye Descendant is going to be hitting for quite a bit. Yeah, it's probably never correct to trade there. But even just considering it is kind of crazy. But yeah, that is how good Founding Hero is. Could definitely be getting hit in for 10 here. I think as long as Hero does not get double strike, I should be good here. Very happy to see that. Ooh, I think that means that I win. So, yeah, oh wait, no, it's a May, so definitely not, need a judge call there. But yeah, I think I always go Wayfarers, Forest, Dragon's Eye. Ooh, 2 Jade Harvesters. That's back. So now, hopefully I don't forget my Nat trigger next turn. Actually haven't hit an instant. Isn't great. I do think, so they're missing the land drops does mean that, just trading off this Dragon's Eye Descendant, if they do, I guess if they, can trigger Civilize, they are gonna need a land. I guess if they hit, like, Cinderblade or something, I guess that'd be the one exception. But, yeah. But I was gonna say that going in this Nat is, with the Jade Harvesters, is quite a bit safer. They're not taking the lands, because all the removal is at 3 mana, I believe. Yeah, with Verdict and Kylan. So if they don't hit a land drop here, just going, this is always safe, right? So I guess I can't. No, I guess I can double host. 6, 10. So the Dragon's Eye will be represents 10 damage here. So I'd probably just go Jade Harvester from hand, Jade Harvester on Nat, I guess. Oh, I guess I consider getting Cinderblade. Oh, okay, they're a little bit weird. Remember this time at my Vicious Metamorph. Feygrove, pretty. Does Lily do 3 or more? If Lily's 3 or more, I don't think I have a die here, but like, there's also not a ton of reason to just triple check they don't have any removal. Yeah. No real reason to swing with the Dragon's Eye. Don't think there's a reason not to, but might as well be safe in case there's some random Lulu Trident line. but that went well, despite me messing up on the nat triggers. So my opponent has some cards for me. Imagine Kyline comes in, I imagine Heraldry comes in. Though Emily's Spell Pierce is... Spell Pierce is okay on the draw. Well, okay, so Car's always coming in, Corrosion's always coming in. Do I want Spell Pierce on the draw? I don't know. I very much so don't know. There's the question of what I'm taking out, which I also don't know. I suppose Masterwork is very much on the slow side here. I don't want Masterwork at all, to be honest. Like, it feels weird because Masterwork is quite good in this deck, but I mean, Muckbooz is on the slow side, Dragon's Eyes. If I'm fetching Dragons off Masterwork, then not great. Anthus seems good. So, question is, do I want Spell Pierces, do I want Ambition? I think the answer both has to be no. I think I just don't apply enough pressure if I side these cards in. I think I do kind of need to rely on my opponent just not having Founding Hero or Heraldry. And like I can get around Heraldry kind of the game maybe, but like Heraldry is no longer a creature, no longer enchantment when it's a creature. The card on Relic Corrosion don't actually answer it. I mean, Ambition does kill the Core Light, or if it's not on Core Light itself. Just kind of a rough sideboard plan. I guess I could side out Dragon's Eye and Muckboozer, but like that seems... I think Dragon's Eye seems insane this matchup, because I think it's the main way that I'm winning. I'm gonna go with this. I think this is... I'm gonna accept that it's a volatile matchup, and at least on the draw, I don't think I can do too much about that. I think like holding up a Spell Pierce turn one, and then not being able to Spell Pierce is immediately game losing. And also it doesn't actually, Spell Pierce doesn't even do anything on the draw, because Chronicles and Workgate come down faster. And Ambition is... I think Ambition's God. Yeah, I have no idea. I'm just gonna go with this. And we get this hand. Fun. I mean, this isn't bad, to be honest. It's not good, but it's not bad. Like, Anthus makes this hand a lot better. Oof. I guess maybe I should play the Wayfarers just to fill up my graveyard, but shrug. I'll probably play 2-drop here instead of 2-1s, so Founding Hero does want you to play 2-1s. Probably won't get my wish in that regard, at least if they have it. I could have traded there. That seems bad. I mean, like, God, I have to counter this. Like, right? Like, the sinkhole is just worthless if I don't counter this. Forest, yay. Oh. I guess I always lead Monkey Shines here. Okay. I mean, I guess that's not a bad result. Okay. Sure. And now what? Do I just main phase Xanthus here? I guess. This gets me, another loot if my opponent plays 2 cards. I guess I find an island here? Okay then. Oh, I guess this Wayfarer Shrine's actually dead, so... but yeah, looking like a nice fast concession here. This is kind of... I mean, this is kind of funny, to be honest. 3 spells in what? How many cards? 8, 14, 3 and 14? Jeez. Starting the Force of the Wayfarers just doesn't even matter, because I'm never gonna be... I'm never gonna play 7 lands. I mean, my opponent can definitely have a awkward hand, but I mean, going turn to rear line is not a sign of strength, per se. I think they did mull to 6, too. And they're on the play, 4 cards in hand. I also do have to consider whether they want this trade. I mean, I'm not going to trade considering this is my hand, but they don't know that. The hero is generally going to be worth more than Accomplice. Okay, they do have the 3rd land, they do have the Heraldry, and up, scuttling that. That is something at least. Do you have a hollow here? Do you have a forest? I guess I played Cataract. I don't think I don't have the mana to crack the hollow. I guess this does let them like Green Chapel hit something in my yard, I guess. That turns off the nat, I guess. But I think I'm okay with that. Verdict. And now I'm taking a significant amount of damage. Probably block the hero if they... No, not even allowed to do that. Do I have to? I don't even know what set of draws gets me out of this. I'll take... Yeah. God. Drawing the last land there is kind of ridiculous. Okay, so on the play, the play I'm more on board with Spell PS. Let us Seeker. Let's let out Anthus. I think Anthus is the thing to set out. Yeah. I think I just want the 2 pierces. I don't think I want to draw more than one. Well, obviously be on the play. This is like almost good. But I need to draw a blue source in my first draw specifically, so. I'm on board with this. I'm bottoming. Harvester? Harvester the bottom? Like, Harvester has instant. I think Harvester is the. Definitely could see land being the correct choice there, but I don't love seeing Workgate. But at least I do have a answer to it. Cataract. I guess a Wayfarer's Pass. I guess maybe I should have considered playing Wayfarer's turn 1 for Island to fill up my yard. Actually, I think that might, I don't think it'll come back to bite me this game, but definitely could have, because I think I'm always playing Corrosion here. So that's 1, 2, 3, and then 6. Gets me to 6 for Nat. Workgate number 2. I think I can let that resolve. Oh, I do need to Corrosion that. I think it just gives them a bit too many blockers on the ground. I'm always going to have too hard of a time getting through. Pounding Hero is annoying, but not the worst thing. Like the Chronicles of the Kitsune would have really put me onto there. Monkey Shines is a decent draw. Now I hope that they don't have Verdict at the council, I guess. Verdict would be bad. Anything that removes Nad is really bad. Eldry would be bad. Eldry would probably be the end of the game. I guess, yeah, if Monkey Shines, I can find a car. That's all it does. Give me a lot of headshots here. Yeah. Okay, so Founding Hero's hitting in for 8 here. Airline 2. That's 10. I think I always block here, as awkward as it is. Let's actually remember my Nat trigger this time. 2 out of 3 for Nat triggers. Better. Baygrove, Monkey Shines, Prey. Akbuza Monkey Shines. Oh. I mean, I guess I off the Monkey Shines and spin the wheel again. I don't think there's any. I think that's like the only reasonable thing to do. Ooh. And what a reasonable thing to do it was. Can't cast this, right? Yeah. Okay, so I have a Maku's on top. I don't think I want to shuffle that. Well, I suppose Carl will put it away regardless. So, what am I carrying? I guess the gift. So I'm always doing this. Could also be the lance. I think I like hitting the lance. Lance gives me a lot more survivability. Okay. Now I think I swing in with Metamorph. I think the Founding here can always kill the car. Metamorph does hold back the chapel, but I think that matters very much. Because maybe I should have killed the gift. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. Because what? Yeah, I don't really know. It's like Lance means that Founding here trades with the Muckuser. So like, yeah. So like trade happens and then I'm screwed. I have to just like hope that. Okay, yeah, this is over. Is that lethal? And so that's 13. Yeah, that's yeah. Yeah, I don't know. You don't know much to say, but kind of what happens when my opponent's deck doesn't break. They're just kind of faster. Suppose I didn't have a great draw this game. Corrosion just is not a very good answer to Workgate. I suppose I could have just let Workgate happen, but like letting Workgate happen is such a losing play, because if like Chronicle, like I'm forced to Corrosion any of Chronicle's Verdict or Light, and if I don't, and I need to ride this Metamorph to victory, which like, and I'm just like so far away from doing that. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I suppose maybe at the point that there's like maybe even one Workgate I can't actually fight through on the ground. So maybe I should have just let it happen. That's like so mana inefficient. It would just not take a turn. I suppose I save some life on the cataract. Yeah, but that's probably the way that I win this game. Because like if I don't have I don't hit the work gate, then it would have the corrosion here. Yeah, I'd still lose pretty hard because this is the first time that I'd be able to hit the verdict. I'm just dying to founding here. Well, I did tap out last time for car. Yeah. The thing is, so it probably was a mistake, but pretty minor one. The corrosion, the work gate there. I suppose I did have a lot of cards in yard. Those Dragon's Eye descending in turn 3. No, I suppose I didn't have that many. I think that maybe I could have, like, cutting down the amount of Ox is made would maybe let me get a Makuza through, but that probably isn't the case. Yeah, but I think just generally not the best matchup. I think, like, immediately that there was there chances for me in game 2? No. Well, I mean more so if I didn't get flooded out. My stance is no. I would have needed to specifically find a sinkhole off the monkey shines, I guess. Like, I guess if I had a sinkhole for the heraldry at all instead of land, then probably okay in that game. But that was also very weird. I guess I sinkholed the raid line on turn 2, so they were definitely not having a great draw either. You know, but this deck is just not, my opponent's deck is just not generally that fun of a deck to fight through. Lots of pieces without many good answers. So yeah, and in general, they have a lot of very good answers to one of the strengths of this deck, of my own deck, where like I don't really have much interaction. I can't afford to run much interaction, so any of their more fragile pots are pretty safe. Makuza having ward doesn't matter because verdict. Rex Makuza, so does Kylan, so does Heraldry. Ox's any draw with work gate also makes punching through the life total, which is going to be at 20, really hard because all my guys got through the ground. But yeah, just in general, there's a bit of I can't really do much in this matchup. Generally, I felt like that's the case against this deck a couple times. Pirates kind of feel similar as well, where there's just kind of a few key cards that, a few too many key cards that you can't beat, that the matchup does not feel good at all. But yeah, I suppose I should maybe talk about my deck a little bit, because this is the last game of the GP. The core of the deck, so Makuza Descendant, Masterwork, all played very nicely. Lots of very big Makuzas, which I'm happy about. Seeker, Cultivator, all that was nice. Hollister definitely had its moments. Going more in depth on Hollister because it is new card to the deck. I think it's pretty respectable. It doesn't come out as especially fast, but it has enough like good use cases that like 3/3 is just a good enough size. The 1 mana 3/3 is the size where it's still always going to be at least a little bit relevant no matter the game state. And then 3 counters is also very helpful because this deck doesn't present too much damage. It kind of needs chunky over 2 turns, and 3 extra damage does do a lot as far as 2-shotting your opponent goes. So like in game 1 of that match, the option to double scavenge onto Nat, and that's nice easy 20 points of damage over the course of 2 turns. So the Harvester felt pretty nice. All spells you don't really have a choice in running. Dinkle, Monkey Shine's Vision. Dinkle, that's the best interactive piece in probably the entire format. Maybe inarguably the entire format. And good catch-all answer. Main deck card that's kind of funky is Accomplice. I don't know how I feel about Accomplice. It definitely does stuff, but didn't have any games this GP that it felt great in. I think in general there's a bit too much tension between it and having so many 1-drops in general, like Visions, Monkey Shine, Sinkhole, Seeker, Cultivator, Nat, all seem like more appropriate things to play than Accomplice. Like it does for the graveyard, but I think the time that's doing that is when you are wanting to deploy your key threats, which means that there's a bit of awkwardness there and it kind of just slows you down by a turn, which you can't really afford to do, which I suppose might make sense from a surface observation level, because looting is definitely best in a deck with more specific pieces, whereas here it's like you don't really care what you're hitting your opponent with, whether it's a Harvester or Nat. And Dragon's Eye Descendant and Makuza, you functionally have 8 of both of them with Masterwork, so you have just a ton of consistency. More cantrips here as too. So you're mainly playing this for the looting, but or for filling the graveyard, but just kind of okay at that. I don't know if there's a good replacement for this. I guess I think the original version stack ran more counter magic with Portal Fracture. I think that was the unnerved Portal Fracture. I don't know if I'd go back to running more counter magic, or if maybe you'd run some like more interaction just in general. I don't know if there are any good pieces of interaction that you can run in green blue. Well, it's a bit narrow, which makes it hard. I don't think there's anything. Blue and green are definitely pretty shallow colors as far as interaction goes. Like, I suppose there's like stuff like our Passion Champion, which is like okay, but not really themed too well. Reach the Lilies isn't crazy. Rest, maybe. Maybe you should just play some Spell Pierce and Sunken Ambitions main deck. I mean, Spell Pierce is always a good one or two of in the main deck. And maybe something comes out in the new sets that's good for the deck. But I think at the moment, just the Accomplice is the only slot that's a bit awkward at the moment. Sideboard probably could use some work. Didn't fight against any graveyard decks this GP, so Ridgeway was kind of dead. The rest of the sideboard was like kind of okay. 3 Spell Pierce is always a weird number. I feel like you never want 3 Spell Pierce. But that just might be me being superstitious. But yeah, in general, I like this deck. There's a lot of cool things going on. Good amount to play to it. A bit annoying against decks that are more linear than you. You don't have too many options of slowing them down, but you're fast enough that I think that's not always the case, or at least you can compete. So creates at least some interesting games even if you can't interact with the opponent too much. Yeah, I guess we should do top deck verdict. We will talk about this in the Discord chat. I don't know if that matters. That top deck a land here, right? Because like, yeah, I don't think this matter. The verdict top deck matters. Because if you hit a land, you go Defang Demigod. Like basically every card in their deck is live at this point. And like I have like a 3-turn clock. I'm just getting outraced here, even. But yeah, thanks for listening. I'll be back for a GP, and then no P N. O is the correct letter. So yeah, be back recording then.